Incredible moment, struggling dad and son, 5, discover mommy's hidden CEO life at the hospital. The hum of the afternoon wrapped around their modest home as Alex settled with his son, Max, on the threadbare couch. Sunlight filtered through the window, creating a warm embrace that felt almost sacred. Today was special. It was storytime, a cherished moment when they would weave memories of Alex's late wife, a woman whose dreams shimmered brighter than the sun. "Did I ever tell you how your mom got her first job?" Alex began, his voice laced with nostalgia. Max's eyes sparkled, reflecting pure wonder. "Did she fight a dragon?" he asked, bouncing with enthusiasm. Alex chuckled, envisioning his wife, fierce and ambitious, battling the dragons of doubt in her pursuit of greatness. "Sort of. She worked harder than anyone I knew." People wanted to hear her ideas, he shared, the words igniting a spark in Max that filled the room with hope. Their laughter echoed, weaving a tapestry of memories, until the magic of the moment shattered like glass against concrete. Max suddenly clutched his stomach, a grimace replacing the joy etched on his face. "Dad, it hurts," he whimpered. Panic clawed at Alex's chest, dread gripping him like a vice. Without a second thought, he scooped Max into his arms and rushed out the door, urgency propelling them toward the local hospital. The sterile scent of antiseptic greeted them, and the familiar hum of fluorescent lights washed over Alex as they navigated the maze of white walls. Each beat of his heart thudded in rhythm with his mounting worry for Max. The hospital was a world unto itself, indifferent to his struggles. Financial stress simmered just beneath the surface, a weight he couldn't ignore. Then, as fate twisted its knife, Alex stumbled upon a file in a deserted office, a hidden glimpse into the life of his late wife. His fingers trembled as he leafed through documents revealing her not just as a beloved mother but as a visionary CEO who led a health tech company, a name that echoed in the community, her groundbreaking spirit resonating long after her departure. Shockwaves washed over him, an emotional storm raging within. How could he have known? All those years, he struggled alone while she carried the burdens of a titan without his awareness. Waves of inadequacy crashed against his heart, anger flared as he realized the world hadn't recognized her achievements. Here he was, toiling as a mechanic, wrestling societal expectations of success and manhood, while her brilliance lay hidden beneath the weight of domesticity. "Dad? Are you okay?" Max's small voice pulled Alex from the chaos of his thoughts. He knelt beside his son, swallowing the knot in his throat, determined to honor her legacy. "She taught me to be strong, Max. And we can honor her together," he said, holding back tears. But just as he stepped into resolve, a hospital executive brushed past him, glancing down aloofly. How tragic, really. A woman not even recognized in her prime. It felt like a slap, a reminder of the societal barriers woven through their lives, and it stirred something deep within Alex. "Excuse me?" he found himself saying, feeling something awaken inside him. The words poured out, fueled by anger and pride. She was more than a statistic. She dedicated her life to helping others. The words hung in the air, heavy with truth. Was he ready to fight not just for himself and Max, but for the recognition that his wife deserved? As Max's wide eyes held onto his, uncertainty welled in Alex's heart. Would he have the courage to stand up, to demand that the world see the brilliance he had taken for granted? As the hospital echoed with hushed murmurs, Alex felt a weight pressing on him, transformative, yet scary. The moment was delicate, a dance between fear and hope. Could he truly redefine what it meant to be a father, a husband? Max's innocent query drifted to his ears, "Can we tell everyone about mommy's super cool job?" In that potent moment, Alex's heart burst with pride and trepidation, teetering on the edge of a revelation that would change everything. What if finding his voice was the key to not just honoring his wife's legacy but redefining their future? The path forward shimmered with possibilities, and as he looked down into Max's eager face, he knew they were just beginning. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead as Alex shielded Max from the bustling crowd in the waiting room. His son rested against his shoulder, eyes wide with both fear and curiosity, the pain still etched across his face. Alex's heart raced, caught between wanting to comfort his son and grappling with the whirlwind of emotions stirring inside him. The file still felt warm in his hands. It was as if it pulsed with a life of its own, whispering promises of change. "Dad, what's a CEO?" Max's innocent voice sliced through Alex's thoughts, grabbing him back to the moment. He looked down at his son and took a deep breath, a complex swirl of pride and sadness welling within. "It stands for Chief Executive Officer, buddy. It means she was the boss of a whole company. Your mom made important decisions to help people get better." Max's eyes lit up. "So, she was like a superhero?" "Exactly," Alex replied, forcing a smile. The words felt foreign, yet they held truth. He recalled how fiercely she fought for every breakthrough, how she inspired her team with her vision. "She was our superhero." Before he could get lost in the memories, a nurse stepped into the waiting room. "Max Arnold." With urgency, Alex stood. "That's us." The nurse guided them to an examination room, the white walls enclosing them in an atmosphere both sterile and loaded with anticipation. As Max sat on the crinkly paper-covered bed, Alex felt the weight of uncertainty creep back in. Would the doctor confirm his fears? Would Max be okay? "Can I stay with you, Dad?" "Always," Alex whispered, taking a seat next to him. Cold metal meeting his warm skin, it felt like a vow, one that he was determined to keep. Several minutes passed, filled with the soft beeping of machines and the distant murmur of hospital staff. Each second felt like a century, but then the doctor entered, a reassuring smile on his face. "Hi there, Max. I'm Dr. Roberts." The doctor examined Max, who tried to be brave, though Alex could see the anxiety behind his brave facade. "You've got a little tummy ache, huh? Let's see what we can do about that." As the doctor worked, Alex felt the stirrings of resolve make their way back into his heart. What if he could turn this moment, the fear, the waking memories, into something powerful? Something that would solidify his wife's legacy while showing Max what it meant to fight for what was right. It wasn't just about the recognition anymore, it was about instilling that same determination in his son, his lighthouse in the turbulent waters. Once the doctor finished and Max was happily reassured that it was nothing serious, they stepped back into the bustling ward. Alex took a deep breath, feeling the hum of the hospital envelop them again. "Hey, Max, what if we had a talk with the hospital's community outreach team?" The words came out unbidden but hung in the air, ripe with potential. "I could share your mom's story and what she wanted to achieve with her work." Max's face lit up, wonder returning as he asked, "So everyone could know she was the coolest?" "Yes, buddy. And maybe we can inspire them to make changes to help the world a little more, just like she did." Hope radiated between them, two hearts igniting with a purpose that only a mother's legacy could kindle. As they stepped outside the hospital, the sun cast long shadows across the pavement. Alex trembled as realization struck him again. Was he really ready to embrace this fight? To reclaim his wife's place in the world and ensure Max knew just how powerful his mom truly was? What if this is the beginning, Max? What if we can really change things? Can we? Max looked up at his father, eyes shining with excitement and uncertainty. The answer wasn't simple, yet as Alex gazed into the horizon, he felt a stirring within, a sense of purpose unfolding. This was not just about telling her story, it was about beginning a new narrative, one where hope and heroism intertwined. Tomorrow, it felt, would bring another chance. Another step towards the fight ahead. Would they find the courage that awaited them, or would the fear of stepping into the unknown keep them shackled? Alex couldn't help but wonder as they walked home, hand in hand, hearts racing with possibility. The morning sun crept through the curtains, warming the room with a soft, golden light. Alex awoke with a sense of determination, a fire ignited with each beat of his heart. Today was the day he would start sharing his wife's story. He glanced over at Max, still sound asleep, his small face peaceful. The sight tugged at Alex's heart, reminding him of the promise he made to be both a dad and a guide in this journey. After a quick breakfast, just toast and fruit, nothing fancy. Alex gently shook Max awake. "Hey there, sleepyhead. Time to get up." Max blinked, taking a moment to shake off the remnants of sleep. "Are we really going to talk about Mom today?" His voice was still thick with drowsiness, but the excitement bubbled beneath the surface. "Absolutely," Alex said, his nerves buzzing with both anxiety and anticipation. "We're going to honor her legacy today." Once they arrived at the hospital, the familiar fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. The waiting room was filled with people. Some were heads down in their phones, while others whispered and fidgeted with different colored wristbands, each a label of their journey through this medical maze. It was a sight Alex had often seen and would never get used to. But today felt different. Today, they were here for a purpose. As they approached the community outreach desk, Alex's heart raced. "We're here to share a story," he told the woman at the desk, his voice steadying with resolve. Max clutched his father's hand, mimicking Alex's confidence. "Great. What kind of story?" The woman smiled, her warmth inviting. Alex hesitated. "How do you sum up someone's life in a few sentences?" "A life that had purpose, strength, and passion. My wife, she was a CEO here. She dedicated her life to helping people. We want to inspire others to keep that legacy alive." Max stepped forward, eyes wide. "She was a superhero." The woman's smile widened. "That's a wonderful way to put it. We believe sharing these stories can really touch hearts." At that moment, Alex knew they were in the right place. Together, hand in hand, they began to unearth the truth of their shared memories. Days passed as Alex spoke with the outreach team, weaving tales of his wife's bravery, her non-stop work ethic, and the love she poured into her job. Each meeting chipped away at the fog of grief, transforming it into something tangible action. Max was the perfect little sidekick, his innocent curiosity adding life to their mission. Through it all, Alex noticed the shift. Staff members responded to their story with tears in their eyes, smiles breaking through the reservations of hospital walls. They understood now, they weren't just sharing memories, they were creating a movement. A platform built on love, loss, and unwavering courage. But as the days turned into weeks, a new challenge arose: how to keep the momentum going. Alex wondered, would it be enough? He had so many ideas swirling in his mind, it was thrilling yet overwhelming. One evening, as they were driving home from the hospital, Max turned to his dad, breaking the silence. "Can we do something big, like an event? You know, to tell everyone about Mommy?" Alex's heart swelled. "That's a fantastic idea, Max. What do you think we should do?" Max's eyes sparkled with ideas. "Maybe a walk. A big one. Everyone can wear capes." That simple idea struck Alex like lightning. A walk to celebrate his wife, to honor her legacy, and to help others. Would this be the spark that would ignite the changes they wanted to see? As they pulled into their driveway, a sense of urgency washed over Alex. This was it, a chance to create a movement, to take a leap into a future where their story could inspire countless others. All they needed was one step forward, and the determination to finish what they started. "Tomorrow, buddy," Alex breathed as they stepped out of the car. "Tomorrow, we make that happen." But as they stood in the driveway, staring at the vibrant sunset, doubt crept in. Could they organize something so impactful? Would anyone care? The questions loomed just as heavily as the last rays of light disappeared. What if tomorrow would prove to be the turning point, or would their fears hold them back? The next morning, Alex woke earlier than usual. The sun hadn't yet fully risen, casting a soft gray hue across the room. He sat at the kitchen table, coffee in hand, staring at the blank sheet of paper before him. Ideas swirled in his mind, chaotic yet hopeful. This event was critical. It needed to honor Claire, to reflect who she was. Max ambled in, rubbing his eyes. "Daddy, can we go now?" he asked, his excitement barely contained. Just give me a second, Alex replied, attempting to organize his thoughts. The weight of the task pressed on him, but seeing Max's eager expression flicked a switch inside him. Today was the day. They arrived at the hospital, nerves dancing in Alex's stomach. The familiar fluorescent lights buzzed around them, a stark contrast to the warmth they'd experienced as a family doing this together. He could hear laughter coming from the nearby coffee shop, a reminder of life continuing beyond these sterile walls. When they reached the outreach desk, Alex cleared his throat. "Hi, we're here to talk about an event we want to organize." The woman behind the desk, Lisa, looked up with interest. "That's wonderful. What do you have in mind?" Max leaned into his dad, eyes shining. "A walk. Everyone can wear capes, like superheroes." "Capes?" Lisa chuckled. "That sounds like a fun touch. Now, tell me more." Alex laid out their vision, heart pounding. He described how they wanted the event to bring people together, to celebrate memories and support the hospital's work. With each word, he felt a bit of the doubt from last night slip away. When the meeting ended, Lisa clapped her hands together, beaming. "I love it. We can help promote this and gather volunteers. Just think of how many lives we can touch." Max bounced on his feet, thrilled by the enthusiasm. "Can we also make banners? And cookies? Everyone loves cookies. Why not?" Alex laughed, feeling light for the first time in a while. He knelt down, ruffled Max's hair. "You're a genius, buddy. We'll make this big." Days turned into a whirlwind of planning. Flyers were printed, social media posts were made, and soon the idea spread like wildfire. The community rallied around them. Neighbors offered to help with logistics, local businesses pitched in with donations for snacks, and even strangers shared their own stories connected to Claire. At home, digging through old boxes, they found Claire's old photographs. Each image told a story: the way she smiled at Max, moments captured at events, mingling with colleagues, the pride she wore like a badge. They spent evenings reminiscing, laughing, and shedding tears together. "Do you think Mommy would be proud?" Max asked one night, eyes glistening. Alex paused, struck by the weight of the question. "I think she'd be over the moon, Max." The day of the event arrived, early morning light casting a golden glow over the park. The air buzzed with the sounds of voices, laughter, and the rustle of capes flapping in the wind. Alex scanned the crowd, a mix of familiar faces and new ones. Each person carried a piece of Claire's legacy. As Alex took a deep breath, preparing to speak, he noticed a woman in the crowd, teary-eyed yet smiling. Memories rushed through him like a tide, lifting him up as if Claire were right there with them. He reminded himself why they were doing this, pushing aside the nerves bubbling up again. With Max by his side, Alex stepped up to the podium. "Today, we celebrate my wife, our superhero." His words rang out, echoing his heart. But the moment was interrupted when a sudden voice broke through, one he didn't expect. "I knew her, too," the woman said, stepping forward. Her face softened as she spoke. "And I think you need to know something." The crowd hushed, curiosity rippling like a wave. Alex's heart sank with both fear and anticipation. What could she possibly say, and how would it impact the legacy they were building? Alex's heart raced as he turned his gaze to the woman. She looked so familiar, yet he couldn't place her. The crowd's anticipation buzzed in the air, mingling with his own growing dread. What secret could she possibly hold about Claire? "I'm sorry," he stammered, glancing at Max, who clutched his hand tightly, sensing his father's sudden shift in emotion. "Who are you?" "I'm Emily," she replied softly, and then she took a breath, steadying herself. "I worked with Claire on several projects at the hospital. She made such an impact on everyone here, on me." Alex felt a flicker of hope mixed with anxiety. "What do you mean? What did she say?" Emily hesitated, emotions overwhelming her. Claire was a fighter. She had ideas that could change how we treat patients, ways to better support families like yours. Her voice broke, and the crowd listened intently. Max looked up at his father, eyes wide. "Did Mommy really help people, Daddy?" he asked, his voice small but filled with a desperate need to understand. "Yes, buddy, she did," Alex replied, though his own feelings tangled up as he processed Emily's words. "She started a program, a way to bring laughter and hope to kids going through tough times," Emily continued. "She was creating a superhero program, a mentorship for kids battling illness. She wanted every child to feel like they could be heroes too." Alex's breath caught in his throat. He had no idea. Claire had kept this towering ambition tucked away, like a hidden treasure in her heart, all while juggling everyday life. Suddenly, every late night she'd spent at the office, every moment she'd been preoccupied, took on a new meaning. Max bounced with excitement. "That's like our walk today. We're superheroes, right, Daddy?" Alex knelt to meet Max's wide eyes. "Yes, exactly like that." But inwardly, he wrestled with the weight of this revelation. Could he truly carry on Claire's vision while wrestling his own grief? Emily's voice cut through his thoughts. Claire wanted to expand her program. She dreamed of a day like today, bringing the community together. "If you're willing, I'd love to help you realize that vision." The crowd erupted in murmurs, surprised and intrigued. Alex glanced over the sea of faces, so many were filled with admiration, a shared spirit of purpose. They had all come to honor Claire, but now they could bring to life something she passionately believed in. "Are you all in for this?" he called out, his voice steadying. "Do you want to help build this superhero program?" Cheers erupted, echoing in the park. Max jumped up and down, filled with joy. Alex felt the air shift. This wasn't just about remembrance, this was about action, legacy, a chance to create something bigger than themselves. But deep inside, uncertainty knotted in his stomach. What if he failed to keep Claire's dream alive? What if he couldn't bear the weight of this new responsibility? Stepping down from the podium, Alex approached Emily, feeling a newfound connection. "I need to know more. Can we sit and discuss what Claire had planned?" Emily nodded, her eyes flickering with understanding. "Absolutely. I think we have a lot to talk about." As they moved to the side, leaving Max to frolic with new friends, Alex could feel a shift. The heavy burden of loss lightened just a little. Yet, as the cheers subsided, a deep feeling of impending change coursed through him. He was on the brink of something monumental, but he couldn't shake the feeling that secrets still lay buried. Claire had touched many lives, but what stories still needed to come to light? And what was the true extent of her plans? As he and Emily started to talk, a question loomed in the back of his mind: what other surprises had Claire kept hidden beneath the surface? Sitting at a picnic table under the shade of a large oak, the atmosphere shifted. The laughter of children echoed in the background while the aroma of popcorn and hot dogs wafted past Alex. But the sound beside him was Emily's earnest voice, stepping into the gaps of his understanding about Claire. She had a vision for the superhero program. Not just mentorship, but community involvement. She wanted local businesses, hospitals, and even schools to come together. The idea was to hold workshops and events that empowered kids not only to be a part of something bigger but to feel comfortable in their own skin, Emily explained, her eyes illuminating with passion. Alex listened, his heart warmed and heavy at the same time. How could he have not known? So, Claire had this whole plan. Emily nodded. Yes. She was working on tangible ways to get it started, but, with her illness progressing, she had to prioritize her health over her work. A lot was left unfinished. But I believe this community would rally around her vision. The hope in her voice struck a chord within him. What can we do to make it happen? The words escaped before he could second-guess himself. First, we need to create a timeline of events, gather volunteers, and establish partnerships. I can help pull together the resources we need. Just envision it. We could organize fundraisers, family days in the park, even open mic nights for kids to share their stories, she said, her enthusiasm contagious. Max scampered over, clinging a colorful superhero cape his new friend had just given him. "Look, Daddy. I'm Super Max." He spun in circles, laughter bubbling up from his small frame. In that moment, Alex felt a wave of clarity wash over him. It didn't matter how daunting this task seemed. His focus had to be on what Claire had loved, what she believed in. "Emily, you're right. I can't let this vision die." Claire poured her heart into this. "If we can shine a light on her legacy, it could heal us all," Alex said, mustering the strength he needed. He imagined children adorned in capes, all standing together, filled with hope and joy. They could become the heroes of their own stories. The two of them began to sketch out ideas, jotting down everything that came to mind. The air was electric with possibility as more people began to gather around them, intrigued by the idea of contributing. Friends, family, and even strangers who had come to honor Claire joined in, excitement bubbling up. Alex glanced at Max, still whirling around, lost in his superhero fantasy. How beautiful it was that his son could be part of this future they were just beginning to envision. But with every spark of excitement, doubt still simmered in Alex's mind. Had Claire left anything behind, a roadmap, a journal, something more tangible he could cling to? What if he was missing a crucial piece that could put everything into motion? Just as the planning session gained momentum, Emily's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, her face turning pale. "I'm so sorry, Alex. I need to take this. It's the hospital." She stood, her focus shifting rapidly. "Of course," Alex replied, though a knot of anxiety pulled at his stomach. What news would she bring back? As he watched her step away, the crowd's chatter grew dim in his ears. The image of Claire faded into the background, replaced by a question that haunted him: what had she left unfinished? Suddenly, he felt a shove of urgency. He needed to find something, a sign, a message, anything that could guide him through this transformation. As Emily returned, he was ready to ask, but before he could, she broke the news. "There's more to Claire's story than we know, Alex. I think you should come with me, to the hospital." His pulse quickened. What had Claire been hiding, even from her own husband? What truth lay waiting for him within those sterile walls? And why did it feel like the real journey was only just beginning? The hospital loomed ahead as Alex and Emily walked closely together, the fluorescent lights flickering on and off like a heartbeat that pulsed with anxiety. Alex felt pressure building in his chest, a storm of emotions swirling around him, a cocktail of hope, fear, and confusion. Each step echoed his doubts. "Are you sure this is the right time?" he mumbled, his voice barely above a whisper. Emily walked briskly, her expression grave. "It may be crucial, Alex. Claire needs you." "There's something she wants to share," she replied, her voice steady despite the uncertainty hanging in the air. As they entered the building, the smell of antiseptic surrounded him, a stark contrast to the vibrant gathering he'd just left. The sterile environment was harsh, clinical. As they approached the nurse's station, an overwhelming sense of urgency tugged at him. Was this about Claire's health? Or something deeper? Emily glanced at him, her eyes filled with empathy. "We're almost there. Let's just stay calm." He nodded, though the knot in his stomach tightened. They passed through a series of swinging doors, each swing echoing back tales of fights, losses, and resilience. Eventually, they stood outside Claire's room, the door slightly ajar. "Alex, if you need a minute," she began. "No. I'm ready," he interjected, determination surging through him. Emotion washed over him as he pushed the door open. Inside, Claire lay surrounded by monitors, her face pale yet strikingly beautiful, just as he remembered. The room was filled with flowers and cheerful drawings, remnants of the kids she adored. But the sight tore at his heart. Why hadn't he seen how much she needed help? "Hey, love," he said softly as he stepped closer. Her eyes fluttered open, and she smiled faintly, a spark igniting in her gaze. Alex? I was hoping you'd come. I'm here. Emily told me you wanted to talk. She looked between him and Emily, her expression shifting. I need you to listen closely, she said, her voice a bare whisper, yet it carried weight. There's something I've been working on that I didn't have a chance to share. What do you mean? Alex asked, his hands clenching together at his sides. I started a project, a business plan for the superhero program. I want you to carry it forward. Claire breathed deeply, her strength faltering, but her eyes were resolute. I was keeping it a surprise. I thought it would help heal the community, but I had to keep it secret until it was all ready, until I knew I could handle it. Alex's heart raced. A business plan? Why didn't you tell me? I wanted to protect you. I thought I could manage everything. But you need to know the finer details. She waved Emily closer, her voice lowering more, urgency creeping back. It's not just a program. It's scalable. There's potential for grants, partnerships. I even met with a few local businesses before. Before what? Alex pressed, fear creeping in. Before my health took a dive. I didn't want to burden you with this. But you have to finish it. Promise me you'll try. He hesitated, the enormity of her vision crashing into him. It felt insurmountable, like climbing a mountain made of memories and hopes. But what if I can't? Claire wouldn't have believed that. You have to believe you can be the superhero for Max, for the legacy. For this community. The urgency of her words struck him deep. He could almost hear a chorus of children cheering, vibrant and full of life, urging him to take the leap. Okay, I promise, he whispered, a whisper of lunacy and hope in a single breath. Just then, Emily received a text. Her face went pale again. We need to go, Alex. Before he could ask why, Claire's eyes widened, a flicker of dread passing through them. Wait. There's one last surprise, one you need to hear. Alex swallowed hard. What else could be hidden behind those hospital walls? What would he discover next? As he turned to Emily, a sense of foreboding mixed with excitement surged within him. What didn't he know? What else lay beneath the surface of Claire's plans? Wait, what do you mean a surprise? Alex asked, his heart pounding. There was a sudden urgency in Claire's eyes, and he could tell she hadn't meant to cause such alarm with her words. The surprise, it's about the program, Claire began, her voice wavering. There's someone waiting for you. Someone who can help you understand what I couldn't finish. She paused, drawing in a shaky breath. They know all about it. Who? Claire, please, I need to know. Alex stammered, a mix of confusion and fear washing over him. The monitor next to Claire beeped steadily, punctuating the weight of the moment. She looked over at Emily, who stepped forward, her face tense with concern. I think it's important, Emily added, her tone serious. We shouldn't let this opportunity pass. Alex felt a flicker of hope but was overwhelmed by a tight ball of dread in his stomach. Who is it? He insisted, trying to keep the tremor out of his voice. It's someone from the local foundation who approached me. They were interested in funding the superhero program, but I hadn't finalized anything, Claire said, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. They believed in what we could do. Alex blinked hard, trying to process this new information. Funding? How can I meet them? His voice wavered, uncertainty creeping in. Claire gestured weakly towards the door, but before she could speak, a soft knock echoed through the room. Emily moved quickly to answer, and the door swung open to reveal a middle-aged woman with warm eyes and an easy smile. Hello, I'm Mia, she introduced herself, stepping carefully into the room. Claire asked me to come by today. I've been following the superhero program from afar, and I believe it's something your community needs. Alex exchanged a glance with Emily, his thoughts racing. "You're the foundation representative?" "Yes, and I'd like to discuss how we can help you carry this forward," Mia said gently. "You're not in this alone. We believe in the vision Claire has laid out. This can become something amazing." "Wait," Alex interrupted, his heart racing. "What exactly do you know about it? What did Claire tell you?" Mia's expression softened, filled with understanding. "She shared enough to capture my interest, but there's so much more we can explore together, Alex. I think you'll find that you carry the passion she had, and you can ignite it for others. You'll have the resources to make it happen." Alex rested his head in his hands, feeling the weight of reality crash down like a tidal wave. "I don't know if I can do this. I'm just what?" Mia interrupted, her tone firm yet kind. "You're her biggest supporter. You have the heart and drive that this community needs. The superhero program is meant to uplift, and you don't have to lose that vision." Claire reached out, her strength visibly fading but her eyes still fierce. "You promised, remember? You can do this. For us, for them." He stared at Claire and then at Mia. Hope wrestled with doubt, and as he paced the small room, he felt the weight pressing harder. What if he let everyone down? What if he wasn't the right person for the task? "Claire, I can't do it alone," he finally said, his voice a whisper laced with vulnerability. The reality of what she asked of him settled in, heavy and daunting. "You won't have to," Mia replied quickly, her gaze steady. "Let me walk with you through this. We can set up meetings, get the community involved, build a team. You just need to take the first step." The world around him dimmed for a moment, the beeping of the monitors blending into a muffled sound in his ears. Could he actually do this? Could he rise to the challenge when all he felt was fear? "Remember, the superhero program is about strength," Claire whispered, her eyes shining bright with an encouragement he desperately needed. "And so is asking for help." Feeling the weight of each of their gazes, Alex took a deep breath, letting the air fill his lungs like the colors filling a canvas. "Okay. I'll meet with you, Mia. Let's talk about the next steps." As he spoke, Alex felt the beginnings of a flicker of courage arise within him. Maybe this was the first step he needed. But as doubt lingered in the back of his mind, he couldn't shake the feeling that the hardest part was still yet to come. Just then, Claire's hand tightened around his and she smiled at him with so much hope it enveloped him like a warm blanket. "You're not just doing it for me, Alex. You're doing it for the future." The uncertainty loomed like a dark cloud, heavy and persistent. What other challenges awaited him? What hidden parts of Claire's plan would emerge next? As he met Mia's hopeful gaze, Alex felt the weight of the moment pressing in. Could he truly step into a role he had never imagined, or would fear hold him back? As the weight of the decision settled in, Alex felt both energized and overwhelmed. The sterile scent of antiseptic filled the air, blending with the subtle hint of coffee endlessly brewed in the waiting area. He could sense the urgency of the moment, the opportunity teetering on the edge of possibility. Still, anxieties twisted in his gut like a tightly coiled spring. "Great. Let us get started," Mia said with a bright smile. "How about we meet tomorrow morning? I can bring together some resources and people who believe in this program." "Okay," Alex replied, the word escaping his lips almost mechanically. He was already feeling the pressure. A million questions buzzed in his mind like fireflies on a summer evening. Who would these people be? What if they expected more from him than he could deliver? Was he really ready to embrace this? Claire's grip tightened, pulling him back from the spiraling thoughts. "You've got this," she reassured him, her voice almost a whisper now that her strength seemed to slip further away. "Just remember why you started this." He nodded, trying to draw strength from her words. They had both dreamed of making a difference, of using their experiences to empower others. But could he channel that passion into something real? As the meeting ended and Mia prepared to leave, she paused, turning to face both of them. "This is more than just funding. It's about building a community that stands together. You'll find, Alex, that this is about far more than just money. It's about heart. Heart, he echoed softly, the word lingering in the air like a tender promise. It felt as if a small piece of something profound clicked into place in his mind. Perhaps it wouldn't just be him alone in this. Perhaps the journey would connect him with others who shared the same vision and heart. Mia stepped closer, her expression now serious yet warm. And if things become tough, and they will just remember, you're never alone. Lean on your support system, lean on Claire, lean on the community. With one final nod, Mia slipped out of the room, leaving a charged silence behind. Alex felt the weight of her words rest heavy on his chest. The fear was still there, but now, it was tinged with something else: determination. Claire's eyes sparkled with pride. You just took the first step, Alex. Tomorrow is the next chance to show what we're capable of. Yeah, tomorrow, he murmured, staring out the window at the night sky. Stars twinkled faintly, and the moon cast a gentle glow over the world. He thought of the lives they could touch, the stories that could change. There was hope nestled in that darkness. Suddenly, a door opened down the hall, and laughter echoed softly, tugging at Alex's attention. He turned. A young boy, perhaps 5 years old, raced down the corridor, clutching a bright blue cape that flapped behind him like wings. To the rescue! He shouted, his voice piercing through the silence like an arrow of joy. A rush of emotions swept through Alex: nostalgia, warmth, and a fierce yearning to be that beacon of hope for someone like this boy. Claire, he turned back to her, excitement bubbling in his voice. What if we could create real heroes? Not just for the kids, but for everyone. A connection that lifts them up. Claire's face glowed, and Alex could feel the electricity in the air. Yes. That's it, Alex. Let us build a team of encouragers, mentors. The possibilities are endless. But how? He asked, the doubts creeping back in. Would they be able to find enough people with the same passion? Could the vision really come to life? As Claire reflected on his question, the light in her eyes dimmed, and a shadow fell across her features. Sometimes, the people you least expect can surprise you as they discussed ideas and dreams lingering in the air between them. A flicker of doubt mixed with excitement hung heavy. What unknown faces and stories would they uncover? Would the community stand up and connect like they envisioned, or were they diving into the deep end of uncertainty? The night wore on, and as they plotted possibilities, Alex couldn't help but wonder, would they find the support they needed, or were they chasing shadows? Alex woke up to the morning sun spilling through the curtains, illuminating the room with warmth and clarity. He sat up, mind racing with thoughts about the superhero program. It felt like the day of reckoning was finally here. This was not just about his wife's legacy anymore, it was about igniting hope in others and bringing her incredible vision to life. After a hurried breakfast with Max, Alex felt a rush of purpose envelop him. Are you excited for the meeting today, buddy? He asked, ruffling his son's hair. Max nodded vigorously, eyes sparkling with anticipation. We're going to tell everyone about Mommy. As they drove to the hospital, the familiar sights blurred outside the window. The chatter on the radio faded into white noise as his heartbeat quickened with each passing moment. Today, they would unveil Claire's dreams, inviting an entire community to help shape them. Upon arriving, Alex spotted Mia waiting, her expression one of encouragement. Are you ready? She asked, her presence like a beacon of hope. As ready as I'll ever be, he replied, voice steadying. Max squeezed his hand tightly, still wearing his cape, embodying the spirit of the very superheroes they aimed to inspire. They entered the conference room, and the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. A group of community members, local business owners, and healthcare professionals gathered, all eager to help birth Claire's vision. Alex glanced at Max, who beamed with pride. Suddenly, a wave of realization washed over him. This wasn't just a meeting, this was the beginning of something transformational. Thank you all for coming, Alex began, his voice solid yet tinged with emotion. We're here to honor my extraordinary wife, Claire, and to share a vision she held dear, transforming lives through the superhero program. As he shared Claire's story, her passionate dreams to uplift children, create community connections, and build an environment of joy and resilience, he felt the room behind him resonate with each word. Faces softened, eyes glimmered with understanding and compassion. We need your help to make this a reality. Together, we can build a legacy she would be proud of. Once he finished, the room erupted in applause, a wave of affirmation washing over him. So, what do we need to do? Someone called from the back. Mia took over, her voice clear and empowering. Let us brainstorm. We can organize events that highlight the program's values and find sponsors to support our mission. We want every child to feel like a hero. As ideas began to bounce off the walls, gatherings, fundraisers, workshops, Alex felt a surge of hope swell inside him. The room buzzed with excitement, and as he glanced over at Max, who was enthusiastically participating, Alex felt empowered to forge ahead despite his fears. But just as the energy peaked, the door swung open, and in walked a man with an imposing stature. I'm John, a local business owner. I heard you all are doing something special. I want to be part of it. The intensity in his voice drew everyone's attention. Thank you. Alex beamed. What role do you see yourself playing? I want to sponsor the first community event, John declared. I believe in what you're doing. My son battled cancer, and we could use a program like this. Let us make it happen. The room erupted in applause again, a palpable wave of unity igniting within. Alex felt something shift deeply within him, a sudden understanding that they were not alone in this fight. They were building a network of shared experiences, fueled by a desire to uplift and heal. As the meeting unfolded, ideas transformed into plans. Together, they mapped out everything from community walks, bake sales, and school workshops. The volunteers lined up, eager to pitch in, and Alex's heart brimmed with appreciation. Max, what do you think about starting the first event at the park in a month? We can call it the Superhero Day. Alex asked, turning to his son. Can we wear capes? Max shouted, bouncing on his feet with excitement. Absolutely. Alex smiled, feeling the buzz of energy ripple through the room. Once the meeting concluded, a soft laughter faded into conversation, leaving Alex and Max on the sidelines, watching connections bloom. Their hearts were beginning to heal together, and the light surrounding them felt almost tangible. Later that evening, as they walked home side by side, Max's small hand in his, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that Claire's spirit lingered around them. He imagined her whispering, reminding him to push past fears and grasp the community's heart, to embrace the journey ahead. Daddy, are we really going to do this? Max asked, looking up at him with sincerity. Yes, buddy. We are, together. He could feel the promise of a brighter future unfolding, and it felt electric. In the following weeks, they launched into preparation mode. Flyers went up, social media accounts boomed with excitement, and people rallied around the idea as a mighty force. Each conversation, every smile shared magnified their vision. It was as if Claire had empowered the entire community to stand together like true heroes. Yet as they moved toward the big day, doubt occasionally crept back in. Would everything go right? Could they truly control the impact this program would have on those in need? How many lives could they touch? But in the depths of uncertainty, a steadying thought remained: Claire's legacy would guide them. Every step would lead them forward, a collective force of compassion igniting change for children and families like theirs. The day of the Superhero Day dawned bright and hopeful. Balloons swayed in the light breeze, families gathered at the park, and laughter filled the air, laced with joy and excitement. As he stood on the makeshift stage, with Max proudly wearing his cape beside him, Alex felt the ground beneath him pulse with energy. Thank you all for being here today, he called out, his heart racing. Today isn't just about us, it's about a vision that Claire held closely, making every child feel like a hero. The crowd erupted in cheers, and as Alex's voice rang out, he felt waves of warmth wash over him. This was their moment. Claire's dream was no longer just a memory, it was alive and thriving around them, connecting everyone through love, purpose, and courage. As he caught the eye of a young girl nearby, her bright eyes sparkling with joy, he felt the culmination of their efforts wash over him like sunlight breaking through the clouds. They were building a legacy, and he knew this was just the beginning. That day became a celebration not just for Claire, but for hope itself. And as the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Alex glanced down at Max, heart full. Together, they stood at the threshold of something immense. Grief had transformed into a purpose greater than themselves, their family's love now woven into the very fabric of their community's future. Alex smiled, "This is only day one, Max. We're just getting started on this superhero journey." Max whooped with delight, echoing the sentiment of what this moment meant, a spark of change igniting within them. Hand in hand, they stepped boldly into the future, ready to embrace every challenge that would come their way. And in that moment, they knew they would always carry Claire with them, their very own superhero whose legacy became a bridge to a brighter tomorrow. As they walked forward, side by side, Alex held close the realization that together, they had already begun to rewrite their story. You need to subscribe now to be part of this incredible journey and not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your support for this new beginning. Comment your thoughts and feelings about this inspiring ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this breathtaking transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to share. True fans understand the importance of supporting our community through these actions.